All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Sunday Sweat Club. As you can see, we are in a new environment today. We are in Ontario, right by the St. Lawrence Seaway. If I'm lucky, I'm going to see a big boat pass by during class today. It's really strange to be teaching in the morning. It's a nice kind of change for Sunday. So I'm on the Eastern time with all of you that are in Eastern time. I have a special surprise today, and it's been planned this way for this whole conversation that we were chatting before class. But take a look, I've got Linda. So Linda is my stepmother-in-law today. She will be demoing most of class, which is my favorite thing because it means that I don't have to do the yoga. So I get to walk around and harass her today. Fun, right? And I think one of the benefits of this is you also get to see a different body that isn't mine move. You'll get to see how we modify for some poses for her. And it's a reminder that every practice is just for you, right? So you can take the stuff that Linda's doing. You can decide, nope, I'm not doing that, and do your own thing. This is class is time for, especially this month, right? Your opportunity to reset, relax, come down to planet Earth. So we will begin reclined fully on our backs today. So you can lay all the way down on your mat. Perfect. Let your palms go face up. Close your eyes. And then wiggle your hips to make sure you're relaxed. Yeah, so no tension still hanging on in the body. And then just take a deep breath in. As you exhale, gently sigh out your mouth. Great, close your mouth. And just let your body get really heavy. A lot of us, especially type A personalities, we tend to go, 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 right? And while we're going, we don't realize that our body is hanging on to points of tension. So maybe for this start, you can explore which points in your body tend to hold tension. Try a little bit of a scan, maybe starting from the crown of the head and just working your way down your body. When you hit those specific little points, just be like, it's all right. I'm safe. Relax. As we get a little farther into this relaxation technique, you might think that you're fully relaxed, but I challenge you to find another spot in the body holding on to tension. And if your mind starts to wander to that to-do list, as it may do, bring it back to your physical body. Close your mouth if it's open and just start to deepen the breath. So as you inhale, pull your breath all the way into the bottom of your diaphragm. Let it extend down towards the pelvis. And as you exhale, exhale slowly out the nose. And again, diaphragmatic breathing. You'll pull the diaphragm in and up to empty the lungs. Let's take 3 of these. If you know Ujjayi breath, you could try that by slightly constricting the back of your throat. If that sounds like I'm speaking gibberish, you just continue the big long breath in and out. One more. Once you reach the bottom of your next breath, flip your palms down onto the ground and walk them towards your sides so they kind of touch the mat a little bit. Then press your palms down into your mat, roll your shoulders down and back, and you'll lift one knee up into your chest and then the other knee and make yourself into a little ball. Now, if you've been in class with me before, you might know that I tell you to do exactly what I just said and not wrap your arms around your shin, right? Some of us have the inclination of immediately wrapping the arms around the shin and pulling down and in, but let's try not to do that yet. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, release your feet down on the ground, hip width distance apart, as close as you can get them to your butt, coming to a bridge pose prep. So you're just kind of going to stay here with the heels down, toes down, and then continue rolling the shoulders back and pressing them into the mat. Now I'll just do a nice little wave through bridge pose. As you inhale, you can lift your hips high up to the sky, squeeze your glutes at the top, right? Can you squeeze your butt cheeks? And then as you lower, walk your vertebra down the mat one at a time. So starting from the upper spine, can you be really conscious of trying to hit each part of your spine on the way down? And I don't care how long it takes you, go at your own speed. When you finish one round, take a full breath at the bottom. That means inhale and exhale. And then you'll lift your hips up again and do another round. Remembering, like I said, to squeeze the glutes at the top. Nice. Yeah. And Linda's doing a great job of really keeping her palms connected. So same thing, notice if the hands start to relax, you continue to lock the fingers down into the mat, just like you would in down dog or any other pose. Once you've taken your second round, you can wait at the bottom. And again, just take a full inhale and a full exhale. On your next breath, we'll come to a half happy baby. So you will draw your right knee up into your chest as you inhale, and then reach your arm through the inside of the leg and grab for the outside of the foot. So it'll be your right arm, other arm, Linda. Nope, other, same leg, other arm. Yeah, perfect. And then if you can, try to put the arm on the inside of the knee. Yeah, so why do we cue the inside of the knee? So you have room to pull the knee down towards the ground on the outside of your body, right? If you put the knee on the inside of the bicep, you're gonna hit your chest. It'll be in the way. So just allow yourself to first passively move into this position. So try to relax through the hip as you're pulling down. And then, as always, my favorite thing is now I've watched her leg get a little bit deeper. The same thing is happening at home with you. It'll get deeper and deeper. And then you can start to push your foot into your hand while you pull your hand into your foot. So it's like a little bit of a tug of war at the depth of the position, right? We're starting to fire up, even though we're in a big stretch, and hold here. You'll probably feel this a little bit in your bicep, right? And you can push or pull as hard as you want. If you're like, Madison, today is about chill for me, you can take chill. It's fine. Great work. Take another breath in and out. And then a fun transition on to the other side. Keep your foot exactly where it is, but release your hand. Ooh, great. Perfect. Powering through the leg. Hold here. Breath in. And then exhale, bring your right foot down to the mat. Good control. Left knee will come up and into the chest. And then you'll reach through the inside again for the outside of the foot. And then pull that down. So if you want, you can bring the hand in the front, Linda. Yeah. And then flip outside. Yes. But knee there. Great. So same thing. Look down, and I encourage you at home too, because there's so many different ways to do this. This is my personal preference. Make sure the knee is on the outside of the tricep, i.e. here, right? Then pull the foot down and in. Slide the knee down to the mat. And try to first tell your hip to relax a little bit. So you might even want to add in a little bit of movement side to side. That's totally fine, just to tell the hip to turn off. This allows us to kind of turn off our regulator that protects us when we're deep in a stretch. And now that you're nice and deep, you can start to gently push the foot into the hand and the hand into the foot. So you'll pull. It's a tug of war. trying to engage deep in the stretch, because why do we do that? That way we have strength in our passive range. Passive will then, with strength, become active. So push a little bit harder, continue to breathe. Remember, we're still trying to keep that diaphragmatic breathing if possible. Another breath in, you got it. Perfect. Now, on your next inhale, brace through your core. Don't move your leg, but release your hand and keep your foot exactly where it is. Oh, yep, that's the stuff. Hold there. 3, 2, 1. Great work. Bring the left foot down to the ground, hip width distance apart. Hands come by your sides again. And then inhale, lift your hips up into bridge pose. One more time. Once you're in bridge, squeeze the glutes at the top. And then just because we can, option 1, you might hold here. Option 2, you might draw your right knee up and into your chest and then try to straighten your right leg up towards the sky. One-legged glute bridge. I'm doing this because I know Linda loves this. This is her absolute fave. Hold here, trying to lift the hips, push the foot into the ground. 3. Nice work, Linda. Looks great. 2. Awesome. And 1, right foot comes down. Keep the hips high. If you're holding bridge, you're just holding bridge. Inhale, left knee comes into the chest first. Then try to straighten. The goal with that is seeing how much we can keep the foot still up and over the head rather than towards the ceiling. Yeah, you're perfect. Reach higher, squeeze the butt. 3, keep your palms pressed firm into the mat, locking down. 2, Linda thought she might not sweat today, so I have a challenge here as well. 1, bring your left leg down to the ground. Take 1 more breath in bridge, squeeze and lift. Perfect. Now lower down 1 vertebrae at a time, all the way to the mat. Nice and mindful movement this morning. Fantastic work. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale. All right. On the next breath in, you can draw 1 knee and the other knee in towards the chest. And then we're going to rock and roll on the spine to come up to a seat. So you can grab behind the thighs if you like. And then rock forward and back. And this is where I like to pretend I'm like 2 years old, right? A little child who doesn't give a shit about anything. And they just want to play. And then you come up to a seat. Perfect. And we'll make our way into frog pose. So I'm going to show Linda how to set up. You might need a blanket at home. Essentially, Linda, what you're going to do is you'll take your knees as wide as you can, facing this direction, because otherwise you're going to put your butt in the camera. And I don't want to make you do that. So get them as wide as you can. Yeah, keep widening, widening. Now that's it. Nice. Your ankles are in line with your knees. Your knees are in line with your hips. Perfect. This might be as deep as you go. Hands stay on the mat, and you can just relax the head and gently look down. If possible, you might want to see if you can push the knees out further apart while trying to keep them in line with the hips. If you're like, what is happening? That means you're doing it right. Awesome work. Okay. So relaxing the head, look down toward the hands. Take a breath in. Exhale, try to relax through the hips. Keep them exactly where they are, thinking about slowly sliding the knees out to the edges of the mat. Are your knees okay? Yeah? Perfect. Well, that's okay. They're going to slide eventually if we keep you here for 15 minutes. All right, perfect. Just allowing the hips to open. Nice work. Now, option 1 is going to be staying here. You might stay exactly in this position and just enjoy the stretch. Enjoy being a, loose term. You can see how much you enjoy it. Option 2 is we're going to work on a bit of rotation in the thigh. So what that will look like, and I'll demo from here, is the knees will be wide. Well, let me shift to here. And then you are going to work on internally rotating by lifting that back foot up and forward. So if you look, internal rotation in the thigh, just like that, Linda. If it feels like too much in the knee, you'll stop. So start on one side, thinking about just hovering and lifting, rolling the thigh into the pelvis. That's perfect. And lowering. What are we doing again? We're activating in the stretch, right? Awesome. Once you've done, let's say 5 on one side, switch to the other side. And remember to flex through the foot as you do this. So really the foot that's lifting is flexed and alive. Yeah. And then at the same time, try to keep the hips in place, not letting them move backwards or forwards, right? So much mind-body connection in this. Perfect. Once you have taken 5 rounds, you'll come back to frog pose. If you've been in frog pose this whole time, I know you're probably ready to come out. So in order to come out, there are a few options. Option 1, you can just say, screw this, and flop on your belly. Option 2, you can try to wiggle the knees back together and then come to a seat on your heels. Option 3, if you can find any other way to get out that's not going to break your knees, you're welcome to take whatever works. Yeah, perfect. Awesome. And then we are going to come into downward facing dog. So next pose will be down dog. And then I'm just going to slide the mat slightly this way because we're going to keep moving towards the camera. Great. And then come downward facing dog, first one of class. Push your butt up and back. And then today, please create a bunch of movement in your down dog. So you just had a really intense, big stretch on the hips. Try and move side to side, left and right, front and back. Maybe bend into one knee and then the other knee. And just explore any new space that you've created. All right. Take a breath in and out. Now, because today is all about hip opening, you are going to do an elephant walk to the top of the mat. What that means is you'll extend your right leg out far to the side, like a big elephant, and then step it down. Left leg will come out far to the side, like an elephant, and then step it down. It's hilarious. It's even funnier when I make an entire class do it. Linda, that's flawless. Great. Walk your way up. Yep. If you feel, you feel like an idiot, I promise you're elephant walking properly. Try to reach the foot out to the side as much as you can. Love it. And then eventually you'll reach the top of the mat and fold into Uttanasana. Your head is nice and heavy. Awesome work. Breath in and out. All right. Inhale. Lift up halfway. Hands come to your shins. Flat back. Squeeze the scapula together. Nice. Exhale. Fold down. So as you do this, remember you're lifting with your low back. Inhale, lift up halfway. Squeeze the scapula. Yes. Exhale, lower down. Take one more. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Inhale, sit your butt back. Take your arms wide and sweep through a chair pose all the way to standing. Reach your hands to the sky. You can come on up. Great. And then exhale, hands by your sides. Tadasana, gaze forward. Close your eyes, actually. Why am I asking you to close your eyes? Because we do have an intention for today's class. So today's class is about hip opening. But I always like to make that a metaphor, right? So there's a metaphor behind this. It's not just hip opening. I'm going to also ask you that as you open your hips, you are going to open your heart or your mind to maybe something you've been resistant towards. So take a think, a little bit of time. What would you like to be a little bit more open-minded about, open-hearted about? Maybe you need a little bit more patience for someone. Maybe you need to be a bit more curious about something. Awesome work. And if you haven't thought of it yet, don't worry, you'll have more time. Breath in and out. Inhale, sweep your hands up, look up. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana, head is heavy. Inhale, halfway lift, lifting with the low back. And then exhale, lower, plant your hands down on the mat, bend into your knees and step your right foot back all the way to the back of the mat. So you're in a low lunge. Great. Once you're in your low lunge, stay here for a second. Pull your left hip back and then push your right hip down and forward. So you're facilitating a stretch from the right hip flexor. Yes, that's it. Then think about pulling your chest forward to the front of the room, almost like you're an up dog. Try to keep straight through the back leg, even while you're pushing right hip down and forward. Looks great. All right, now we are going to move up into crescent pose. So strengthen through the legs and then inhale, reach the hands up to the sky into a low lunge or a high lunge, I should say. Hands forward. Perfect. Linda is in a deep one, which is amazing. You don't have to go deep as Linda. Linda, reach your hands up and forward so palms face each other. Yes. Think about biceps by the ears. And if you have any pain in the shoulders, just back off and you can reach the arms forward a little bit more and hold. Now, same concept, left hip forward or left hip back, right hip forward. Take a breath in and then exhale. Hands can come down to the mat. Look forward, bend in your back knee, and step your feet together at the top of the mat. One big step. Uttanasana, forward fold. Nice moves. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sit back, chair pose. Bring your hands high. Great. So in chair today, let's make this a yogi squat chair mix. So step your feet wide and then turn your toes out and your heels in. Yeah, great. Now try to push your knees out slightly as you sit your butt back and low. Hold here. 3, 2, not getting into your passive range, still engaging. 1. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Nice and easy. Reach your hands high. Take your time coming up. And then exhale, hands by your side. Tadasana. Great. Breath in. And out. Inhale, sweep your hands up. Look up. Exhale, fold. Uttanasana. Head is heavy. Walk your feet together. And then inhale, halfway lift, lifting with the low back. Exhale, plant your hands, bend in your knees, step your left foot back, low lunge. So first we find a nice big stretch. Pull your right hip backwards, push your left hip forwards. You are welcome to have the back knee down on the mat if you like. If it feels okay, you can keep it up and try to keep straightening through the back leg. Chest is, as a reminder, pulling forward almost like you're an up dog. Excellent, Linda. Yep. All right, now the challenge from starting here is you're already in quite a bit of a low lunge. So when you inhale, you'll come up slowly to a crescent lunge or a high lunge. Reach your hands up towards the ceiling. Wiggle and wobble. Yep. And if you fall, remember that's how we learn and how we strengthen. Hold here. We have 3 breaths. Sending lots of love to everything in your little ankle. 2 breaths. Legs are strong. Stay low. Challenge yourself. 1 breath. And then exhale, sweep the hands down, frame the foot. Bend into your back knee, look forward and step your feet together at the top of the mat. Uttanasana, head is heavy. Nice work. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sit your butt back, hands high, chair pose. So this is a moon salutation. It was just a full moon a while ago. So I feel like in honor of the full moon, we're adding in the moon salutation for this Sunday Sweat Club. Now step your feet nice and wide. Yeah, now turn your toes out, heels in. Sit the butt down and back. Now, added challenge. You can stay here. Linda, lift up a tiny bit. Yeah, because it's going to be harder there. That's why I had her lift, right? Option to stay here with the hands high or bring your forearms to the inside of the knees. So you can walk the forearms to the inside of the knees, but with hands up. And now push your knees into your forearms into your knees. But try to keep the hands off the ground. Yes. Yeah, it's okay. Your arms are perfect. Push them in. Hold here. So you're having a tug of war, just like we did on the ground, right? You can squeeze as little or as much as you need to. Push in. 3, 2, we love our hips. Yep. And 1, keep the knees wide. Inhale the hands up to the sky. Now you're going to slowly come to standing over a 5 count. 5, too fast, Linda. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great work. Feet together, hands by your sides. Tadasana, top of the mat. Close your eyes. Return to your intention. What are you creating? Opening in your body, in your mind, hips. Inhale. Yeah, exhale. All right, adding on. Inhale, sweep the hands up. Look up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Oh, it's getting hot in here. I told you to get sweaty. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands when you're ready. Bend into your knees, and you're going to step your right foot back. Yep. Now, take your left foot and wiggle it to the outside of your arm. So it's actually going to be a wider lunge. Bring the hand to the inside of the foot. Yes, a little bit different than what we did last time. Why? Because I want to create more opening in that hip. Now, with the knee wide out to the side, push the knee into the tricep into the knee. Shift your weight over into your right hand. Lift your left hand high and twist open over to the left side. Perfect. Okay, option to stay here in the twist, or you might start to roll onto the outside edge of the left ankle. What that would look like, and I'll demo in the front here, is you would be here. Sorry, Linda. And then you might roll and twist open here. But listen to your hip. You don't have to do that. You can stay where you are. Keep pushing into the hand. Think about the tricep rolling down and under. Strong squeezing through that arm. 3. Nice. 2. Yeah, your butt looks great. And 1. Take a breath in. Exhale, sweep your left hand down to the mat. Bring your knee back towards your tricep. Now you are going to look forward, step your right foot to the outside of your right hand into a yogi squat. You can do it. Big bend. Yes, perfect. Now sit your butt back and down as much as you can. Hands can come to heart center if it's comfortable. Great. I think you can set your butt lower, Linda. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Perfect. Now squeeze the pelvic floor up and in, right? Then we'll come to standing nice and slow. Hands high. Reach them to the sky. Ready? 5. Squeeze. Slow. 4. 3. Good control. 2. And 1. Awesome. Feet together. Hands by your side. Tadasana. Full breath in. And out. Nice work. Let's keep moving. We've got another side. Inhale. Sweep the hands up. Look up. Exhale. Fold. Uttanasana. Inhale. Halfway lift. Squeezing. Exhale, fold, plant your hands, bend into your knees, and then a big step of your left leg back, low lunge. Now you'll wiggle the right foot to the outside of the right arm, hand to the ground. Keep the palms nice and wide. So it's like you're in a big push-up prep. So make sure your arms are as wide as you need them to be. Awesome work. Same concept as we did before. First, pull your right hip back and then push the left hip down and forward. So nice big shift. Yep, excellent. Then shift your weight over into your left hand. Reach your right hand high and twist open to the side. Option to stay here with the leg, or you might start to roll onto the outside edge of that foot, opening the hip slightly, but listen to the knee, listen to the hip, listen to the ankle. You don't need to do that, but if it feels good, we do it. Hold. 3, 2, and 1. Breath in. Exhale, sweep your right hand down to the inside of your right foot. Connect your knee to your tricep. Look forward, and then 1 big step. You're going to step the left foot to the outside of the left hand into your yogi squat. Nice. If you have a couch in the way, we can blame the couch. All right, sit your butt back, and hands can come to heart center. So butt down and back, yeah, and then bring the hands to the heart. Awesome. Now, everybody's favorite part. I'm sure you guys at home can't wait to do this. We're going to come to standing nice and slow. Try to make this a fluid movement, right? No stopping and starting. Here we go. 5, 4, good. 3, 2, and then 1. Perfect. Come to standing, top of the mat, hands by your sides, feet together, close your eyes. Breath in. And a breath out. All right, inhale, sweep your hands up, look up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands and step back to plank or tabletop pose. So step on back. You might bring your knees to the ground, and we're just going to lower all the way down to the belly. So option to do it in plank, but if you have shoulder issues, you might take your knees, lower down nice and easy. 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Changing it up. You are going to roll over onto your left side like you're on the beach and put your head in your left hand. Yeah, just like that. Yeah, a little bit of a rest, right? We tricked Linda into thinking it's a rest. She's so optimistic and excited. Okay, now, just like Linda has, your bottom leg is going to be bent. So on the lower leg, bend it. On your top leg, straighten it. Flex your foot. Awesome. Can you curl the toes back towards the shin? Great. Now, you might want to have your right hand down in front of you for balance. You might want to keep it out to the side, whatever works. Now that you're pushing through the heel, inhale, lift this leg up towards the sky as much as you can. Keep bringing the pelvis forward, and we're going to hold here. So, my goal, what I want you to feel, is a butt cramp. So, try to find the space. Yeah. Slightly think about bringing your ribs and your hips towards one another, pulling the belly in. Nice. And then feel and find that spot of tension right in your glute and squeeze up and in, hold. Now, you might even make your butt cramp. And if you do, I will send you a sticker to your mailing address that says, great job. Because when we cramp, it means we're getting into a new space. Hold here. 3, 2, nice. 1, keep the leg straight. Take a breath in. And then lower slowly, hover it towards the ground. We're going to do one more round. I know you probably gave it your all, but this is the second opportunity to give it your all. So when you're ready, you'll lift the leg back up towards the sky and then find that spot once more. That really nice cramp somewhere in the glute. Yep, I feel it. It's in there. It's working. Hold and squeeze. Yeah, I bet you can. Her whole butt is flexed. It's rock hard right now. Squeeze and lift. 3. I bet you guys don't envy Linda today. 2, because I'm here and I can harass her extra. Work hard, guys. Do it with her. 1, breath in. Don't make her suffer alone. Exhale, slowly lower the leg down to the ground. Awesome work. Just relax for a second. And then you'll roll over onto your opposite side. Yes, if you have any cramping in your butt, take a fist and hammer on that spot in your butt that feels tight. No, you're doing great. All right, so bottom knee bent, same thing. You're gonna just roll over on your other side and then find your either head in your arm or maybe relax the head down to the mat. I don't care, whatever's comfortable where your neck feels supported. Now, your top leg will be as straight as you can get it. First, flexing the toes back toward the shin, pushing through the heel. Linda's already there. So now we are going to take a breath in and brace and lift up and find that spot. Now, what tends to happen is when we do this, we get a little bit of a booty popping thing, which is, it's okay. But at the same time, try to keep tucking and bringing the ribs and the hips in towards one another so the core is engaging as you lift. What that'll do is ultimately it'll help you find this butt cramp spot a little harder. So I assume you found it already. I shouldn't have to tell you again. We're going to hold a bit longer. 3, squeezing. 2. Yeah, it's good. Shaking is great. And 1, breath in. Then lower down slow, bring the leg to hover. So foot will hover and hold here. Round 1. Brace yourself. You can do it. You can do anything for it's like 30 seconds. Inhale, lift the foot back up. Keep the leg as straight as you can. So remember, you're pushing through the heel as much as you can, squeezing the butt, hold. 3. And then last but not least, you remember you have to breathe. 2. And great work. 1, slowly lower the foot down to the ground and then roll back over onto your belly. All right. From your belly, you are going to move up into a tabletop pose. So you can push your knees onto the ground, then bring one hand or both hands and push yourself up into a tabletop. Great. And then we're going to move through some cat and cow because that was a lot of work. So I want your spine to have a little movement, readjusting our mat that's moving. Linda said it was going to move and she was right. All right. Yeah, no, that's perfect. Don't worry about it. From here, drop your belly, roll your shoulders back as you inhale, cow pose, look forward. And then exhale, tuck your chin and round into cat. So I want you to use this and just continue moving with your breath as an opportunity to kind of rinse out the, I don't want to say stagnant, the still strengthening that we did. This is where I like the energy to start to flow, right? So use the breath, take a few more rounds. If you'd like, you can move into anywhere else in the body. You might do barrel rolls with the hips. I don't care. Any additional movement that feels good, please take it. Take 2 more rounds. All right, back to center. Curl your toes under, lift your butt up and back, come to downward facing dog. And then I'm going to make you elephant walk to the top of the mat one more time. can sign a complaint form after class. Yeah, all the way up until you're in Uttanasana. Fold forward at the top of the mat. Head is heavy. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sit your butt back, chair pose, hands high, just for a second. Perfect. Exhale, come to standing, hands by your sides, Tadasana. Deep breath in and out. All right, I'm gonna have you turn towards the camera. Everybody else is gonna stay where they are, just so they can see what we're doing with your legs. So we are going to work on some balancing before we move back into one more strengthening, and then we're laying down. That's it. That's all that's happening. It's gonna be like wham bam. Okay, so shift your weight over into your left leg. Draw your right knee up to 90 degrees. Now, if you're on a rug, keep in mind you have extra balancing challenge if you're on a rug and a mat today. From here, bring the hands to the hips. Now, widen your right knee out to the side as much as you can while still facing forward. Mm-hmm. And if you fall, you're doing great. Hold here. Option to stay in balance, or option to take your forearm to the inside of that knee and push the knee into the arm into the knee. You know there's always somewhere to go. Yes, holding. 3, push if you've got that little engagement. 2, push harder. Mm-hmm. Nice work. And 1. All right, with control, hands come back to the hips. Then bring the knee back to center. Because I love you, straighten your leg and hold. 3, 2, and 1. Release. Feet together, hands by your sides. Tadasana. Breath in. You can do it off the mat if you want to. Breath out. All right. Shift your weight over into your right leg. And remember, this is a great opportunity to take your time. There's no rush. We're balancing for the first time on this leg. Now, draw your left knee up to a 90-degree bend. Hold there. Find your balance, your drishti, your point of focus. Hands can come to the hips. Hips first, yeah. Then you can do that. Breath in. And then widen the knee out to the side. So what you should feel is the strengthening, maybe a little tension in the groin area, right? That's what's lifting. It's doing those hip flexors are doing a lot of work here. Now, take your left forearm, bring it to the inside of the left knee. Push the knee into the arm and the arm into the knee. Hold and squeeze. You can push as hard as you like. You can be as easy as you like. 3, 2, and 1. Hands come back to the hips. Transition out slowly. Bring the knee back to center, but don't forget, straighten your leg. Hold. 3, 2, and 1. Release. Feet together, hands by your sides. Tadasana. Close your eyes. Great job. Again, breath in and out. All right, we're going to do one more little sun salutation, then come to our final balancing pose. So we will meet standing at the top of the mat. And Linda, you can come back here. Stand here for now. And then let's just flow. So if you want, you don't have to be too strict about how this looks. Enjoy the movement. Enjoy just moving your body before we move on to balancing. Inhale, sweep the hands high, look up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, shift your weight over into your left foot and step your right foot back. This time you are going to inhale, just lift up to high lunge. So back knee comes off the mat or it can stay. Reach your hands high to the sky. High lunge. Yep. Great. Now we hold. 3, pull your left hip back, right hip forward. 2, 1, lean your chest forward. Now you might need to take 1 step, 2 steps, or 10 steps, but you are going to come to standing with your right knee up into your chest at the top of the mat. Nice, Linda. That was so good. Great. Hold here. 3, 2, bring the hands to the hips. Now widen your right knee out to the side. Bring your forearm to the inside of the knee. Push your knee into your forearm into your knee. Option to take the hand and grab for the big toe and extend the leg straight out to the side. Reminder, there's always somewhere to go. You don't have to do it. Oh, Linda's got to show off. Remember, if you fall, great. Try it. That's the thing. You have to try and see what happens and then laugh when you fall. And just remember that I'm making this shit up as we go, so don't take it too seriously. 3, 2, bonus points, release the foot and hold the leg where it is. 1, great work. Feet together, hands by your sides. Tadasana. And you can come to standing, Linda. Breath in and out. Yeah. All right, we've got another side. Yeah. Inhale, sweep up, look up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back with your left foot, low lunge. Right away, you will inhale, lift up to high lunge. Hands come up towards the sky. Lift the torso up if you can. Can you? Yeah, there we go. Perfect. So we're going to start with the lift and then hold. 3. Squeeze your scapula together, shoulders back. 2. 1. Now lean your chest forward over your thigh, bend in your back knee, and draw your left knee up into your chest, standing. Fantastic work here. Hold. Breath in and out. All right. Widen your left knee out to the side. Bring your forearm to the inside of your knee. Push knee into forearm, forearm into knee. So you're widening, holding here. Option, and remember, you might fall out 3, 4, or 5 times. I don't care how many times you fall. It's all about coming back in. You may grab for the big toe and straighten the leg out to the side. You can bring a hand to the hip and extend the arms. Whatever you've chosen, try to hold it for 3 breaths. Slow breaths. And then once you've taken your 3 breaths, try and release your foot and keep it where it is. 3, 2, and 1. Feet together, hands by your sides. Take a break, close your eyes. Tadasana. Breath in. Great work. Breath out. All right, inhale, sweep up, look up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to a plank pose. Hold plank. Squeeze, push the hands into the ground, then walk your ankles towards one another and zip the ankles into the midline. So that way you're kind of hugging everything into the center of the line, right? 3, 2, and then 1. Bring your knees down to the ground. Keep your toes curled under and walk your hands back. Option 1 is you are going to just come to standing with your hips in line with your knees, showing here. This is option 1. Option 2, you may have your back toes curled under, come to broken toe pose, sitting the hips on the heels. So you can do either. If you can do broken toe pose, I want you to just hang out and stand. If you can't, you're going to just have the hands on the hips and think about lengthening the spine to the ceiling, right? Either way, we are building. Hold. 3, 2. Great work. 1, breath in. And as you exhale, come forward if you're in broken toe pose, hands down to the ground and tap your feet on the top of the mat. So give the tops of your feet a massage, thump nice and firm on the floor. A little bit of a massage. Awesome. And then come to a seat on your butt. Extra points if you can do it without using your hands. Maybe you bring your hands to heart center and then try to get onto your butt without using them. Onto your butt. It's okay. Let's be. Yep. And remember, a different way every time could totally work. Do you want to see the easiest cheat way? Oh, Linda. Okay. Linda did a fancy way. Great. So there's always a new way. Awesome. Now wiggle your butt forward slightly. We are going to come to Navasana boat pose, a little bit of core work, just a tiny bit. And then we are going to move on to stretching and you're down on your back. Don't make that face at me. You're making that face for everybody at home. I get it. All right. Roll your shoulders back. Zip the legs together. Lift the feet up. Great. Hands can stay here or hands can come here. Hands might extend here and we hold. We could be here all day, right? We're a boat. We're just a beautiful boat in the St. Lawrence Seaway, just making its way to Lake Superior. That's probably where it's going. Hold here. 3. Maybe if you want, try and straighten the legs. 2. Don't worry. Normally I don't. I didn't do the rest of the class though, so it's easier for me. 1, breath in. Yeah. And then exhale, bring the feet down to the mat, extend them forward, and let's come into a hard earned forward fold. Reach the hands down and just let your head be nice and heavy. So let's surrender in this pose. If you feel any tension in the upper spine, like the neck, back, this often can be, it depends what time it is where you are. But I feel it a lot more when I wake up. So really try to allow gravity to separate the vertebra as you fold into this deep, deep spinal flexion. Every exhale, let the belly button pull up and in and see if you can get a little bit deeper. One more inhale. Exhale. All right, inhale, lift yourself back up. Reach your arms high. And then exhale, bring your hands by your sides. We're going to move on to what I believe is called Janu Shirshasana, I guess. Sometimes I'm wrong at the yoga names, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So you will take your right foot to the inside of your right thigh. How are you going to get there? With control. Draw the right knee up, then widen the knee out to the side, and then plant that knee down on the ground. If you can't get there, what do? You just grab for your hand, right? So find the foot on the inside of the thigh, and then inhale, reach your hands high. Twist over. So bring your belly button to twist over that left thigh, right? The goal is belly button and thigh in line. Then fold and surrender. Maybe reach down towards the calf, the ankle, the foot. As you do this, one of the fun things that I realized later on about this pose is a hip shift is actually really important. So while you're pulling the hands and the forehead down towards the shin, try to pull the left hip backwards and right hip forwards, and you should feel a deeper stretch on that left hip. Does that work? Yeah. Left hip back, right hip forward. Yeah. Does that feel a deeper stretch on the glute a little bit? Yeah, that works too. All right. And then take 3 of your slowest breaths. So we're coming back to equilibrium, preparing for our last pose, our meditation. Probably have about one more inhale and an exhale. All right, lift your hands up as you inhale. And then lift your right knee up and place your right foot on the ground to the inside of that leg. Yeah, so you're actually going to bring it to the inside if you can. And now take another breath in, reach up, and exhale, twist over to the right side. So you can take your arms wide, twist over. Maybe you grab around this leg to kind of hug yourself down and in, right? You might give it a little bit of a hug as you squeeze. Think about pulling chest forward. So we are engaging in spinal extension as you reach and twist. Option to bring the right hand down behind you. Close your eyes. And again, you have 3 breaths. And when I say 3, they better be slow, which is a bit harder in a twist, right? You might have discovered. When you've taken 3 breaths, you will turn yourself back to center on an inhale, reaching your hands high. And then you'll draw your right knee up into your chest. Extend both legs long. And then plop feet down, moving on to the opposite side. Yeah. So take a breath in, draw your left knee into your chest. Foot will come. Yep. So first foot in, then rotate the hip to the side. Yeah, great. Then bring the foot to the inside of the thigh. Now remember, with the hands high, you're going to try to turn the torso towards the thigh. So belly button in line with the thigh, and then fold leading with the belly button. So think about, rather than the chest, can you lead with your belly button? Fold forward, bring the hands either to the calf, the ankle, maybe the foot. And then let your head be heavy, just like we did in that other forward fold, if it feels okay on the back and the neck. There are many different schools of yoga, so today this is the version we're doing, but on a different day, I might have you look towards your big toe or pull your chest forward. That's the Ashtanga style, right? So there's always different ways to take it. So if you aren't feeling one, you are welcome to try another. A reminder that even though you don't have me to shift your hips, try to pull your right hip back and your left hip slightly forward to get more of a stretch on the outer side of the leg. You should feel underside the hamstring, right? As you fold forward. So like under here? Yeah? It's always a good question to ask is, where am I supposed to be feeling this? Right? Yeah, yeah. Another breath in. And slowly out. Remember, even though we're not taking too many breaths, we are trying to take the slowest breaths that we can and alternate from what we were doing before. Once you know you've taken at least 3, you will inhale the hands high, reach them up. And then you'll just zip the left knee up in towards the chest and bring the left foot to the ground. So we're going to twist into the opposite direction. Take one more inhale. Yep. And then as you exhale, move and twist over to the left side. You can wrap your arms around that leg. Think about rolling the left shoulder back. And then still spinal extension, right? So as you inhale, you're going to extend through the spine, push the chest almost up to the ceiling. Yes. And then as you exhale very slowly again, you will twist back. Nice work. Take one more slow inhale. And a very slow, controlled exhale. On your next inhale, you will turn back towards center. You can reach your hands high. And then with the hands high, try to draw the knee into the chest and briefly lift the foot. Extend through the leg. And then release the foot down. Wiggle your feet to the very top of the mat. So wiggle, 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 wiggle. Then extend your arms forward, pull your belly button in, and we're going to do a roll down. So you'll try to roll down one vertebra at a time, lying all the way on the mat. See how slow you can go. And maybe you're like, Madison, I am sick of your shit today. I am not going any slower than I want to. And you just lay down. That's option 1. Option 2, take your time getting there. Really try to challenge the core on the way down. And then once you're there, fantastic work, good control. You'll come to a happy baby, our pretty much finishing posture of class. So reach through, grab through the outsides of the feet or the toes, wiggle side to side. You can take any other movement you want as well. So if you're like, no, happy baby is not it for me, we have about a minute, let's say a minute and a half, actually, I'm going to offer of free movement. So anything else you want to do beyond a happy baby, maybe you'd like to do a twist. We did a seated twist, but recline could feel good if you really want to get into something deeper. You're welcome to do a plow pose if that feels good. We have done some forward folding, but just be gentle with yourself. And as a reminder, this is our cooling down phase, right? We're moving towards the end of class. So just allow the body to come to this state of relaxation. I will tell you, you're almost halfway there. I'll tell you when you need to move on to the other side, so you still have a little bit more time. Mm-hmm. And yeah, if you're doing a twist, please move on to the opposite side of the twist. If your mind is beginning to wander, as it tends to do right as we get to the end of class, come back to your intention. I know we briefly touched on it, but we did some hip opening. We created some fluidity. We created movement like we did in last week's class. What are you becoming more open to? What are you opening your heart to, opening your mind to, opening your physical body too, right? Another 30 seconds or so, and then you can make your way into our final resting pose, Shavasana, lying on your back as we started. If you need to get warm before we do that, if you want to put on any socks, a sweatshirt, if you need a blanket, you can let me know. I can grab a blanket for you. But if you're nice and toasty, yeah, welcome to have some water. Main thing is being comfortable, right? Allowing yourself to surrender. You're at home. You could even be like, take your laptop or your phone or whatever you're watching on into bed and just go in bed if you wanted. All right. And then extend the legs long. If you have any pain in the low back, you can keep the knees bent, feet on the ground, and then bring them together in a recovery pose. But if Shavasana feels great, let's fully surrender. And if you like, step them a little bit wider. There we go. Does that feel good? All right. In Shavasana, deep breath in, push the air into the bottom of your lungs. Open mouth, exhale. Let it go. And come into a few minutes of well-deserved meditative rest. Let your body relax just like we did when we started class. So notice points of tension. Make sure the furrow in your brow is gone. Tension in your jaw is gone. Just allow everything to surrender to the mat. Let go of any breathing pattern you might have had. Come back to normal breathing. And just relax. If you would like to stay in Shavasana for a little bit longer, or maybe a lot longer, you can just stay in Shavasana. maybe you turn off the recording or the video you're watching and just cut back into a place of rest. If you're ready to move out of your practice, you can wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe rock your head side to side. Allowing energy to flow back into the physical body. Can let your movements grow larger. Eventually, perhaps you reach your hands up above your head. Take a big morning stretch. Stretching left and right. And then draw one knee towards the chest and the other. And you will eventually roll over onto your favorite side with your eyes closed in a little fetal pose. Our posture of rebirth and renewal, right? New body, new mind. And then press yourself up to a comfortable seat facing the sound of my voice, eyes closed. Once you're there, you can either bring your hands together at heart center or two hands over the heart, if that feels good. And then on a breath in, bring the shoulders up towards the ears. And as you exhale, slide them down your back, resetting the spine, sitting nice and tall. Take a breath in. And exhale, bow your chin in gratitude. Maybe put a smile on your face. Fantastic work, everyone. When you're ready, lift your head back up. Get reacquainted with the room around you. Great job. Huge thanks to Linda today for being our wonderful student. I always like to show off with Linda because, Linda, if you don't mind, how old are you?
I will be 74 in March.
74 in March.
73 and a half.
73 and a half. And 3/4 she is right now. So just a wonderful testament to, like, she does a lot of work in the gym as well, which is why her legs are so strong, but a reminder that movement is medicine, right? So continue moving, continue breathing.
And I only started doing all that exercise 2 years ago.
And she just 2 years ago, she started doing exercise. So it's never too late to start doing something new, right? And to watch how much your body can change. Because, yeah, she's a fantastic example. So thank you all again, sending you lots of love. I will see you next week for the Sunday Sweat Club. And happy holidays. Enjoy all the holiday parties, okay? Oh, and Megan says, nice note from Megan here. She loved hearing Linda cackle every time during class. So, yeah, appreciate all of you. We'll see you soon.